How you doing there? This is Chris again. In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about match grip versus traditional grip. Now, some of you might have heard these terms and known exactly what they are, and others might have heard these terms and had no clue what people were talking about, and others might have never heard this. So I'll keep it short and sweet, but show you the difference, okay? Match grip is what you see most people do whenever you have both sticks that look exactly the same. They're matched, okay? Hence the name. Versus traditional grip, which is what you might see on some old school video, some old jazz guys, or some old marching stuff. They do this. And there's a couple of different reasons that somebody might want to pick one over the other. I'll just talk to you about my personal experience and my preferences, and what I like about each one. When I grew up playing in junior high, high school, I did a lot of jazz band and a lot of drumline. So I was doing a lot of marching stuff. All the marching stuff was all traditional. So I just naturally converted a lot of that to the drum set. And as far as the drum set goes, generally, I will play traditional when I'm playing something that needs to be quiet, but I want to have a lot of control over those tiny little grace notes. So a lot of times I'll still flip over and play traditional whenever I'm playing jazz, or if I'm playing like a real quiet funk, but there's lots of little grace notes, things in there that I want to get nice and clean. Just naturally, because I had so much drumline training, keep my left hand doing the traditional for those styles generally works better for me. On the other side here, the reason I go to match is power. I can lay into it and make it a lot more rock solid playing the match grip with my snare hand than the traditional. So if I'm playing a hardcore funk or a rock, something where I just want to lay into that snare drum and kill it, I'll go back to the match grip. Okay. Some of the other reasons is the traditional gives you a chance to do a little bit of flair. And what I mean by flair is you can do some cool little tricks and things like that. One of the things that you'll see a lot of jazz guys do is they'll do a roll, but they'll continue the roll by hitting the stick with the other stick, okay? So let me just show you real quick what that would look like. Again, it's just a little trick that might sway you towards trying traditional every now and then, okay? Okay, show you that again. Okay, now you can do it match grip. It's a little more difficult and not as natural. Doesn't lend itself as well as the traditional grip does. But again, there you go. You can check that out. Anytime you get into things like back sticking, where you turn the sticks around, things like that, all that usually looks a little cooler with traditional. How much you use that on the drum set, I don't know. If you're a jazz guy and you want to be like the next Betty Rich and throw some flair in there, go for it. Otherwise, you can stick with the match and just lay into it. Okay, so I'm just going to dive in. I'll play a little bit of swing for you and let you kind of see what I'm talking about, all those little grace notes, and let you see why I usually choose traditional when I'm playing swing or jazz. Okay, so try something. Goes a little like this. Okay, and I'll also show you, I mean, playing match grip, I can play pretty much the same type of stuff, and it'll sound pretty close to the same thing, but it would just be, again, it's going back to how it feels natural for me. But just real quick, sounds like this. Okay, so I don't know if you can really hear a difference, but again, it's just my comfort level is a lot, I'm a lot more comfortable playing traditional whenever I do jazz, because I feel I can get those grace notes even quieter, but still keep them under control a little better. Another reason someone might choose the traditional, if you are going the old school jazz way, a lot of guys set up their snare more at an angle like this, and it is angling away from you, so you obviously that just fits perfect in there. Okay, so that's old school again. You can see a lot of old time jazz guys. Occasionally you'll still see a modern guy do it, but you know it's more of an old school thing. So you know, any of the old timers might do it like that. I've never actually done that, but again, I see a ton of people do it, and it would just lend itself straight to the traditional grip. Okay, and finally, real quick, I'll just show you the correct way to hold the traditional grip. You know, sorry, mom and dad, but basically you flip the bird with your snare hand, which in my case is the left hand, and you kind of tilt it to the side, and the stick just falls straight in there. Okay, in between these two fingers, lay it up against the bird finger and wrap your thumb around. And when you're playing, you're letting that stick come off of this ring finger and back down. Okay, you use your thumb a lot to get the bounce in there. So whenever you're playing, that's the action you see. The stick's coming up, but you're actually using your thumb a lot for that rebound. Okay, so there you go. That's traditional versus matched, some of the benefits of both. And now anytime somebody throws that terminology around, you're going to know what they're talking about. So I hope you got something out of this, because I enjoyed making this video for you. So now is my favorite part of the video. You get to go practice.